This video is brought to you by
Cool Green Clothing. You already know what it is. We done gone worldwide and we coming straight out of Baltimore. Go online right now at coolgreenclothing.com and I assure you, you'll find something on the website right now just for you. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way. And that's just basic.
It's your girl, Mrs. Tony Two Times, and I'm back with another episode of the Baltimore Way. In this video, I'll be discussing the tragic story of Kaniayah Ward, a 16-year-old who struggled mentally and ultimately ended it all under what was supposed to be supervised care. But before we get into this video, please hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and join the Tony Two Times family. Tap the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And of course, feel free to share this video with everyone you know. All right, let's get into it. Kaniayah Ward, born just 2 days before Christmas in 2008, was a teenager defined by her brilliance and her sweetness. She was a bright light, a girl whose smile filled a room. She was the kind of person who lived in the worlds of her imagination. She was often found with her nose buried in a book or a pencil in her hand, sketching out the life of the artist everyone knew she was destined to be. She loved animals, she loved to joke, and she had a deep innate sense of caring for others. To her mother, she wasn't just a daughter. She was her everything. Her mother lovingly called her Big Baby K. Kaniayah's creativity and joy inspired those closest to her. But behind the vibrant drawings and the infectious laughter, Kaniayah was fighting a battle that many adults struggle to articulate, let alone a 16-year-old girl. She lived with the heavy shadows of clinical depression and PTSD. As she entered her mid-teens, the light began to flicker. Her family, desperate to protect her, found themselves in a position no parent ever wants to be in. They had a child in crisis and nowhere to turn. Kaniayah lived with her mother and grandparents in Prince George's County. By 2019, the state was already in the periphery of Kaniayah's life. Records show her family was receiving support for therapy and child management. But as Kaniayah got older, her struggles intensified. She began running away. Her mental health challenges became a danger to her own safety. Her family was desperate. They didn't want to lose her. They wanted to save her. But in the healthcare system that often feels like a complex web, they hit wall after wall. Eventually, she was placed in the care of the Prince George's County Department of Social Services. The hope was that the state could provide the specialized residential treatment that a private family simply couldn't access. For a moment, there were glimpses of a future. In early 2022, there was a request for Kaniayah to go on a college tour in Florida, a sign of her potential and her dreams. She was enrolled at the Augusta Fells Savage Institute of Visual Arts in West Baltimore, a place where her talent for drawing could have flourished. But the normal moments were constantly interrupted by a cycle of placements, discharges, and waiting lists. By July 2025, Kaniayah was tired. She told her workers she wanted to be finished with the system. But the system wasn't done with her. It just didn't know what to do with her. In August, a residential program gave her 72 hours notice before discharging her. Social services scrambled. They called 5 different facilities. None would take her. She was put on a wait list. She didn't meet the criteria for emergency hospitalization, yet she was too vulnerable to be left alone. The state's temporary solution? room 1109 at the Residence Inn by Marriott on the Johns Hopkins Medical Campus. This wasn't a licensed treatment center. There were no doctors on site, no nurses, no specialized security. To bridge the gap, the state hired a private contractor, Fenwick Behavioral Services, to provide one-on-one supervision. The rules were strict. A worker had to stay awake 24/7, perform hourly checks, and keep all medication in a locked box. But on September 20th, the safeguards began to crumble. A single staffer was assigned to watch Kaniayah. That shift was supposed to end, but when a replacement called out sick, the worker stayed, then stayed longer. By the morning of Monday, September 22nd, that single individual had been on duty for a staggering 53 continuous hours. Imagine the exhaustion. Imagine the lapse in judgment that comes when the brain has gone 2 days without sleep. At 5:45 a.m., the worker checked on Kaniayah. The teen reportedly responded but didn't get up. The worker, believing the girl was a heavy sleeper, didn't return to the hotel room for several hours. Meanwhile, in that room, the very things meant to be locked away, medications, were accessible. When the worker finally returned at 10:30 a.m. to wake Kaniayah for school, the heavy sleeper wasn't moving. A 911 call captured the haunting realization. The caregiver told dispatchers, "I have no idea what happened. She's not breathing and she's cold." When the dispatcher asked if the worker could perform CPR, the answer was a heartbreaking, "I don't know how to." Take a listen.
I have no idea what happened. I'm a one-on-one for a client, and I went to wake her up for school, and she didn't wake up.
Is she breathing?
No.
She's not breathing?
No.
Okay.
And she's cold.
Okay, she's cold. Can you do
Yes.
CPR? Are you willing to do CPR?
I don't know how.
At the foot of the bed, investigators found an empty bottle that had once contained 365 pills of diphenhydramine, the active ingredient in Benadryl. Kaniayah's life ended on the very day she was scheduled for a follow-up assessment to finally get the treatment she had been waiting for. The aftermath was a storm of investigations. The Maryland Department of Human Services launched a probe that found the contractor, Fenwick Behavioral Services, grossly negligent. They cited the marathon shift and the failure to secure the medication as the primary factors that led to this tragedy. The police investigation labeled it a questionable case before the medical examiner officially ruled it an intentional overdose. 2 days after Kaniayah passed, the state stopped all referrals to Fenwick. By November, the public outcry was so great that Maryland officially banned the practice of housing foster children in hotels. However, the path to justice has been a frustrating one for Kaniayah's family. The Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office declined to bring criminal charges, stating that while the neglect was tragic, there was insufficient evidence to prove criminal intent beyond a reasonable doubt. The contractor's owner has denied the findings of neglect and vowed to appeal. Kaniayah Ward's story isn't just about one tired worker or one empty pill bottle. Kaniayah's story is not about one bad decision. It's about a system stretched so thin that unsafe options become routine. It's like the system treats the most vulnerable people like a game of musical chairs. And when those chairs ran out for Kaniayah, they put her in a hotel. Her family's attorney, Thomas Doyle, put it best. She shouldn't have been in a hotel. She needed treatment. We have to ask the questions. Why are we waiting until a young person is in the foster system to provide mental health resources? Why are private contractors allowed to work their staff into a state of delirium while tasked with guarding a human life? Kaniayah was a bright, artistic soul who just wanted to be finished with the struggle. She deserved a hospital bed, a therapist, and a safe path to her future as an artist. Instead, she was left in a suite, caught in the gap between a family who couldn't get help and a state that didn't know how to give it. And if her story doesn't force meaningful change, then the system hasn't learned anything at all. Rest in peace, Kaniayah. May your story be the catalyst that ensures no other young person is ever placed in a room where they are left to face their darkest moments alone. Fam, tell me your thoughts on this tragic and unfortunate loss. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. All right, fam, that's it for this episode of the Baltimore Way. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video informative and believe these stories matter, please consider liking this video so more people can see it. Subscribe for more stories like this that deserve to be heard. And most importantly, take care of yourself and those around you. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 Times. Until next time.